I'm going to say a word. I'm going to give you 1 minute. You're going to write down as many words as you can that pop into your head that are connected with that word. Okay. Ready? You have 1 minute to write as many words as you can that you associate with ghetto. Ghetto. How do you know when you're in the ghetto? What does it mean to act? Ghetto. You can't put anyone's name. 3, 2, 1. And that's time. Please put your pencils down. Pens and pencils down. So let's see from a show of hands. How many people got 5 or more words? 5 or more. Quite a lot of people. Okay, good. You can put your hands down. Raise your hand if you got 10 or more words. What? Wow. All right. All right.
You got right. I got 13.
So I'm going to ask for volunteers to give me 3 of your words. If someone says a word that's on your list, you have to scratch it out. I don't want to hear the same word over and over and over again, okay? So I'm going to ask for a volunteer to give me 3 words. Gangs, good. You want to give me 2 more words? You don't have to because addicts, good. So gangs and addicts. Anybody else want to give me 3 words? Yeah? Ratchet. Projects. Drug dealers. Okay.
Corner people, like people on the corner.
People on the corner. Uh-huh.
Language.
Language. What kind of language?
Like cursing.
Cursing. Okay.
And Facebook.
Facebook. Can be ghetto.
Yes.
All right. Interesting. 3 words.
Child support.
Okay, child support, fighting, and what was the last one? What kind of people? Everyday people? Okay. Yeah. Graffiti, good. Alcohol. Okay. Prostitutes or hookers? Okay. Right here. Violence. Rebel. And bronze. Interesting. Interesting.
I only got 2. I put hood and hood rat.
And hood rat. Interesting. Which is often gendered. It's usually women we're talking about, right? Not men. Yep. So the first one was gunshots. What was the second one? Police sirens. Good. And what was your last one? Arguments. Okay.
I have loud,
Uh-huh.
nasty,
Uh-huh.
and thoughts.
Okay. Interesting. Right here.
Old, tired,
And crusty. Okay. Does anybody have a word that they think is positive? A positive word you associate with ghetto.
No reasons.
Reasons?
Maybe the reason why they do things.
Okay, interesting. Family and friends, good. It's a struggle. People are trying to make it, right?
They're united.
They're united, interesting.
Loud and block parties.
Block parties, barbecues, all right, especially in the summer.
I was gonna say loud and tough.
And tough, right. If you come out of the hood, you know how to survive, pretty much. Anybody else, a positive word?
Hard workers and wanderers.
Hard workers and wanderers.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Loving.
Loving. All right. Let me ask you this. Is the ghetto a place or a mentality? Can you cross the road and know now I'm in the ghetto? Or is it a way of thinking and being? What do you think? It's both? Okay. Anybody else? Yeah? It's a way of thinking. It's a mentality. Interesting. Is your hand up? Nope.
Thinking about the choices you make.
Ah, it's about the choices you make. So somebody said what they associate with ghetto is child support. Are there people in the suburbs paying child support?
Yes.
Somebody in another group said they know they're in the ghetto when they smell weed.
No.
Do people smoke weed outside of the ghetto?
Yes.
Sure do. So what is it that makes it distinctive? What's special about people who come from, quote unquote, the ghetto?
They're black, like, you know, or there could be some Chinese,
So this is interesting though, because do you know the origin of the word ghetto? It was a word that was used in Europe about a religious group, Jewish people, exactly. And a ghetto was a contained area where a certain group of people were forced to live. But sometimes when you're forced to live with people, it does. Somebody said unity, it draws you closer together. One more person? Yeah?
Can I ask you a question of people that is like think the way you think or something like that?
Yeah.
I feel like it's like in people's mentality because like and yes that like I think somebody said guns or something like that, but white people shoot up schools too. Like the majority of people that shoot up schools is white. So.
The majority of domestic terrorism committed in the United States absolutely is committed by white men. So why is it that when we say ghetto, we think about black and brown people?
Because normally in the Bronx, you would notice that people on the corner, they are mostly black, and like the most people that be on the news, like from something that happened, it will like current events, it would be somebody who's black.
Interesting. Why are people in the Bronx standing on the corner?
They're either
They just
selling
like the
drugs.
corner?
No, they're selling drugs
Why are they selling drugs?
to live.
To make a living, right? What's the unemployment rate for black men in New York City? Close to 50%. If you can't find a job in New York City, what are you going to do to help your family? Do black people use drugs more than white people?
Probably no.
But who gets stopped for it?
Black.
Stop and frisk. All right, you guys have a lot to share, but for the sake of time, I'm going to have to move us on. Can you please look at your Wish After Midnight? You need your novel.
Are you going to be able to sign it?
I am going to sign it for you. Right now, we're going to read chapter 10 together.
Black has that.
Chapter 10, which is on page...
Part 1 or 2?
It's page 35.
Part 1. Page 35, thank you. So I'm going to start out reading, and then I'm going to ask for volunteers to read a paragraph. So if you would like to volunteer when I say, just raise your hand and I'll call on you. So you already know that Jenna has plans to go to college. She wants to go to Harvard, Ivy League college, and her mother keeps telling her she's her best bet. But we also know that Jenna keeps secrets from her mother. Like the fact that Jenna is working for a white woman named Hannah.
It doesn't want to come on.
Her mother, Jenna's mom, does not like white people, would not be happy about Jenna working for a white woman. So Jenna's like, I'm just not going to tell Mama. But then she has a situation with Hannah where things kind of don't go as planned. And this is the chapter we're going to read together. Sometimes I feel like there's a tattoo on my forehead that says ghetto. And I don't know if it'll ever go away. Not even if I change my clothes, move out of this neighborhood, and graduate from college. Mama says ghetto isn't just a place, it's a mentality. She says if you let it get inside your head, you'll never leave the ghetto behind. It'll live inside you no matter where you go. Mama says you can take the girl out the ghetto, but you can't always take the ghetto out the girl. I try not to let any of my ghetto ways show when I'm over at Hannah's. Sometimes I feel like she's proud of me for talking right and working hard at school and for having plans to go to college. Other times I feel like she thinks I'm just acting, like she wishes I'd just be myself around her. More ghetto, more black. The thing is, everyone who's black ain't ghetto, and everyone who's ghetto ain't black. Is there a volunteer to keep reading?
Through this, Mama brings lots of magazines home from work. The hospital subscribes to all kinds of different ones, but nobody really reads the magazines about Black. So Mama comes home with copies of Essence and Imani and Black Panther Rights. And sometimes it's not too late, and all my homework's done. She'll tell me to read some article about a Black painter or a lawyer or a doctor, and Mama doesn't really care about the lawyer, and she doesn't want to hear either. She says we're already got too many Black books and dancing and rapping.
Thank you. Mama says it's a good thing I'm going to be a psychiatrist one day because Black folks in this country have been brainwashed. Miseducated is what she likes to say. She says we can't trust what they teach us in school. We got to supplement our education. Mama says learn everything they teach you, then go out and learn even more. She says kids in white schools get taught different stuff than us. She says white schools get more money and have better teachers, and that's why their kids get higher grades. I say, what about Brown versus Board of Education? Back in 1954, the Supreme Court said that wasn't fair. But Mama just looks at me and says, you still got a lot to learn, baby. Another volunteer?
I know that a lot of what Mama tells me is true. I know she wishes she had gone to college when she was young, but she met college first. Then all this started coming along. Mama always made sure we had books to read when we were little. She didn't buy us any fun books that we had. She brought us books by Black inventors and French authors, and some German vegetables. Mama made sure we all got library cards, and she used to take us over there once a week. But then Mama started to work double shift and think what taught she got kind of lost. And it was just between Mama reading when we were things, then it was started.
Thank you. Hannah's not like the white people Mama talks about. She helps me because I need the help, and I guess she thinks I deserve it. But sometimes I get the feeling she wishes I was more messed up, like that Taiwan really was my baby, or that I couldn't read or write. She wants to do more for me, that's what it is, and I won't let her. Not because I don't need the help, because I want to do some things for myself. One time when Hannah came home from yoga, she paid me and then hauled this big bag of clothes out of her bedroom. These are for the Salvation Army, she said, but there are some nice things in here. Want to take a look? You don't have a book. Can you look on with somebody? Or do we have an extra book? Thank you. A volunteer to keep reading?
I looked in the big garbage bag full of clothes, and I wanted to say no thanks, but Hannah had that look on her face, that shiny-eyed look that lets me know she's trying to be nice and that she wants something good to happen. I thought maybe Hannah knows something I don't, like that you have to wear certain kinds of clothes to get to an IDP school. So I agreed to take a look, even though I was okay with the clothes I had on.
Thank you. Another volunteer?
She opened up the bag and started pulling out these clothes. Everything still looked brand new, and I recognized the names on all the labels. Hannah kept pulling things out and handing them to me, and I was just staying there holding the clothes like the sailboat stand outside the thing room while we tried things on. Finally, Hannah stopped and looked at me, and she could tell by my face that I wasn't interested in her preppy designer clothes. She sighed and pushed her hair on her face, and she said, I guess these aren't really your style, huh? And I kind of smiled and shook my head. Then as I handed her back the clothes, she said, what about your mother?
And that's when I got mad. It's okay that Hannah wants to help me, but I don't need her to help my family. I don't need her to put clothes on my back, and I definitely don't need her to dress my mother. Sometimes people give you things and they don't know when to stop. They give too much because they want to fix all your problems. But sometimes you got to fix your own problems your own kind of way. Hannah's already paying me, and that's what I said. You paid me already, Hannah. And her face got kind of flushed and her eyes lost all of that shine. And I kind of wished I hadn't said it, but I knew it needed to be said. Mama says that's the problem with white folks. They're always crossing the line. They want to keep you in your place, says Mama, but they don't know how to stay in theirs. I don't want to think like Mama. I try not to lump Hannah and all white people together because that's exactly what I don't want people doing to me. I want people to accept me for who I am with my own ways and my own ideas and my own future that's separate from everything else that's going on. Separate from Rico dealing drugs and Toshi acting fast and Poppy walking out on us. Separate from where I live or how I dress or the color of my skin, I'm not ashamed of none of those things. I just want people to see all of who I am and not just the messed up parts. We're going to stop there. We don't have time to keep on reading. Sorry about that. So tell me why Jenna gets upset when Hannah says, "What about your mother?"
I think Jenna gets upset. It's like because Hannah knows that she doesn't, because like, Jenna knows that she doesn't have a lot of money and hearing from somebody else that she needs help getting somewhere, it kind of wants her like, oh, it's like I'm poor, like I need your help, or like,
Okay.
and people probably get, she probably gets offended, yeah, you know, she's struggling, she doesn't want to hear the fact that.
Okay. Good. Good. What do you think?
That maybe Jenna feels like Hannah's treating her like some type of doll, like if maybe that's maybe since Hannah's like saying, oh maybe you don't get clothes, but what about your mother? Probably Hannah's like, oh I can treat her like if she was my own daughter, and maybe her mother's not treating her well character.
Oh, very interesting. So it implies that her mother can't take care of herself and therefore probably also can't take care of her own family. Anybody else? When people keep giving you everything you need, what does that make you? Dependent or independent? Dependent. What does Jenna want to be?
Independent.
Independent. Does that mean she doesn't need help from Hannah? She still needs help, right? She's like, I don't know much about Ivy League schools. I want to learn more about psychology. I'm here. I appreciate your help. But there's a line, right? Sometimes you got to do things for yourself, your own way. I think she feels when Hannah looks at her, what does Hannah see?
Ghetto.
Ghetto. Does Hannah think Jenna's ghetto? Yeah? Because of the clothes she wears, because Jenna's black, because she's got this little brother. Hannah's making some assumptions, maybe that she shouldn't. All right, let's take a look at the poem. Oh, one more comment?
I think that maybe Hannah's trying to hide the fact that I think she's trying to hide how she sees Jenna. So maybe she's trying to be all nice and stuff. So maybe she thinks she knows Jenna more than anyone else, but she doesn't know how Jenna is actually like.
All right. Does Hannah feel sorry for Jenna?
Probably.
I think
Yeah.
Maybe, but at the same time, no, because you're making Jenna feel like she's not enough and she doesn't have that much.
Okay. Interesting. So now we're going to talk about this poem by Sharon Flay. Y'all have probably read her book, The Skin I'm In.
Yeah.
Yes, that's Sharon. Yes. So she also has a book called You Don't Even Know Me. It's a collection of short stories, and then there's a poem called You Don't Even Know Me. So what I'm going to ask you to do while we're reading the poem is to make some notes in the margins. I want you to focus on two things. Number one, who is the speaker? Who is speaking in this poem? And then the second thing I'm going to ask you to do is put a star every time we get a new addressee. Raise your hand if you know what an addressee is. An addressee, the person being addressed. So if I'm talking to you, you're my addressee. And then if I suddenly start talking to you, you're my next addressee. So you're going to make a note every time the speaker in the poem shifts to another person, another addressee. Okay, so we're going to do the same thing. I'm going to start reading and then I'll ask for volunteers to finish reading. You Don't Even Know Me by Sharon Flay. I sit in your class, I play by the rules, I'm young, I'm fly, I'm black. So of course I think I'm cool. Geometry is my thing, physics is just a breeze. So it bothered me last week when you said I should be happy with that C. You know, I've been wondering lately, trying to figure out just how it could be that you're around me so often and still don't know a thing about me. Volunteer to keep reading?
You see me on TV, marching in the band, then you flick the channel, and there I am again. Cuffs on my hands, a coat over my head, the news anchor warning that I'm someone you should dread. The police say I'm a menace, that you should be on the alert. The nightly news recounts all the people they say I've hurt. The major says I'm a threat. Psychologists call me depressed. Bloggers can't figure out what's up with me, so they make up all the rest. I've been wondering lately, trying to figure out just how it could be that you can see me so often and still don't get a thing about me.
Thank you. Another volunteer to keep reading? Yep.
I live next door to you. You see me on the bus. Sometimes you even tell me just to be quiet, child hush. Then I'm out with the boys. 2000 or even 10. Funny when that happens. I'm just another black boy, a threatening, scary sight. I talk like every shadow from the birds late at night. I've been wondering lately, trying to figure out just how it could be that you could talk to me so often and still not know what you want.
Thank you. Another volunteer?
We hang on the car together, holding up the wall. I tell you about my dreams. You just want to talk basketball. I pull out my pen, detailing the cities that I will be going one day. Swearing that people would know my name across the USA. It's only glad you knew I think I am. Potential. That I am. Very good. I know. Really am. You talk about my house. The clothes I wear sometimes. Then you really hit me with what's been on your mind. I know. You know, I've been wondering lately, trying to figure out just how it would be that we call each other brother, and you still don't know the thing about it.
Thank you. Last night I had a dream. I flew right past the stars. No one was holding their pocketbooks or double locking cars. I chatted with the moon, calculated the circumference of the sun. Then right before I awoke, I decided to take a run. I ran across the Milky Way, stole a peek at Saturn's ring, hip-hopped across the universe. I was me, I could do anything. So I dived into a million black holes, rested my feet on the North and South Poles, slipped into my mother's dreams, my daddy's nightmares too. We talked about my future and the great things that I will do, but dreams don't last forever, and night turns into day, where people who don't even know you try to block tomorrow's way. But nothing can ever stop me, keep me from what's mine. The stars on fire inside me, shining, refining, reminding me that only I define me and the brightness of my destiny. All right, who is our speaker? The speaker on this poem is a black boy. How old do you think he is? He's taking physics and geometry. He's in high school. Okay,
16.
so we can say maybe 15, 16 years old. That sounds about right. Who's our first addressee? I sit in your class. A teacher. All right. Now this boy, is he a good student or a bad student? He's a good student. Physics is just a breeze. So it bothered me last week when you said I should be happy with that C. Why is he upset with his teacher? He should get straight A's, right? He gets a C and his teacher's like, oh, good for you. He's like, nah, that's not good enough. I should be getting a higher grade. You should expect me to get a higher grade. But his teacher has low expectations. Why?
He's a black guy.
Because he's a black boy. All right, we have our next addressee on the next page. You see me on TV. Who's the addressee? Who's that you?
Just regular people.
Regular people. Anyone who watches TV, what are the images they see of black boys?
They're getting arrested.
They're getting arrested, right? Cuffs on my hands, coat over my head. That's the perp walk. when you're being arrested and taken to the car by the cops. Bloggers don't know what to make of me, so they make up all the rest. Do we ever see positive images of young black men on TV? Rarely. What about young black women?
Yeah.
On BET? Okay, are they singing and dancing? Yeah.
Or like on some movies, like Being Mary Jane or shows. Like you see her, like she's living her life. She's having
Okay,
her life.
she's
But her
grown.
brother,
She's
he's
grown.
selling weed on the side.
When do you see girls who are your age who look like you on TV?
Disney Channel.
The Disney Channel? Okay. Anything else? Not a whole lot. Let's keep reading. The bottom of page 4. I live next door to you. You see me on the bus. Who's the addressee now? A neighbor. Can you be a bit more specific? Gender, age?
Probably should.
Sometimes you even tell me, just be quiet, child, hush. So it's an older woman, right? She sees him on the bus. She's like, hi, how you doing? You're being too loud, just hush. And then she sees him on the street with 3, 4, 5 of his friends. And what does she do? She's scared, right? She wants to cross the street and grab her pocketbook. Why is it different when he's alone and when he's with his friends? Can you say it louder?
She feels as if when he's with his friends, it's a
Oh, as soon as he's with his friends, it's a game. It's a pack, right? Which is how you talk about animals. So suddenly, it's okay if he's by himself, but not if he's with his friends. The next addressee is the most interesting one to me. We hang on the corner together, holding up the wall. I tell you about my dreams. You just want to talk basketball.
That's supposed to be his friend.
Okay, in quotation marks, his friend. What does his friend think about his dreams of becoming an architect or an engineer?
That he thinks he's better than everybody else.
Right? He's like, who are you? I see where you live. I see the clothes that you wear. Think you're better than me? Have you ever heard the phrase crabs in a barrel? Imagine a barrel and it's full of crabs. What do crabs have? They don't have hands, they have claws, right? When one crab manages to crawl up to the top, what do the crabs below him do? Grab hold and pull him down. Sometimes people you think are your friends don't want the best for you. Sometimes. All right, let's flip to the last page and talk about his dream. Why is this black boy dreaming about outer space? Exactly. He can get away from it all. He's totally free in outer space. Nobody's locking their car door. Nobody's grabbing their purse like he's some kind of thug. But if we keep reading, he says, I slipped into my mother's dreams, my daddy's nightmares too. What kind of nightmares does a black father have about his son? He sees negativity, possibly. What happens? Yep, to some young black men. Getting into drugs, right? Like Marcus. Getting killed. Trayvon Martin, Tamir Rice, right? Michael Brown, Marley Graham, Ricky Boyd. It happens to girls too. So the boy ends the poem by saying, only I define me. How many people think that's true? Do you get to define yourself, or do other people define who you are? What do you think?
We define ourselves because we have to look at ourselves at the end of the day, not other people. So I think when you go and you do drugs and you are put in a place and you don't know where you're at or where to go, at the end result you have to do with it, not the person that you don't know. So that's why I feel like only we could like have our own destiny, not our parents, not our friends, not our teachers.
You make your own choices. That's interesting. So if somebody walks past you on the street and they look you up and down and they think that they know you, do they define you or do you define you?
You define
sometimes other people define you?
They're facts.
Because of your image?
Your appearance.
Sometimes it's what other people say about you.
Sometimes it's what other people say about you.
Similar
Similar
to how Jenna is.
to how Jenna is, okay? She feels like there's a tattoo on her forehead that people look at her and think they know exactly who she is.
Sometimes other people can define you based on the way you act.
Depending on how you act. That's interesting. So they shouldn't judge you just based on how you look, but how you conduct yourself. Interesting.
I think that sometimes people like, when you say define yourself, people kind of like, when somebody looks at you and judges you, I think that sometimes people take that judgment from other people and then use it to define themselves, like, you know?
It's interesting because my father used to say, why don't you fix yourself up? He was really mad that I wouldn't perm my hair and wear a whole bunch of makeup, and he'd probably be okay with this dress, but I don't usually wear dresses like this. And so sometimes when I'm out shopping or whatever, I hear my father's voice, right? Why don't you fix yourself up? Am I letting him define me? What if I'm defining myself in opposition to what he used to say?
Yeah.
That women should have straight hair and makeup and be girly and know how to cook and blah, 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 blah. Am I really being who I want to be, or am I trying to be someone who's the opposite of who he wants me to be? Yeah?
You're living up to some of these expectations. When you like have that subconsciously like all the time at that time, you're trying to be who your father wants you to be, not who you want to be.
Okay. So how do we know who we really want to be?
When you block out people that
You have to block out everybody else's voice. Interesting. Turn to this page, please, the mirror. So we're going to switch and do a writing activity. We may not have time to actually get our poems written, but we'll get started. I'm going to ask you to make 2 lists, and I'm going to read my list and then my poem before we get started. So on one side, I want to know how other people see you versus how you see yourself. So this is how other people see me. Princess, snob, arrogant, outspoken, I don't know my place, privileged, spoiled, self-righteous, and anti-man. Here's how I see myself. Feminist, quiet, solitary, introvert, polite, soft-spoken, intelligent, opinionated, kind, confident, insecure, talented, a good writer, a good teacher, educated, and ambitious. So I made my 2 lists, and then I picked one addressee. I picked one person that I wanted to talk to because that particular person reads me wrong all the time. Thank you. I'm going to read you my poem, and then I'm going to ask you to guess my addressee. It's probably not going to be that hard. Okay, you ready? Poem is called Read Me Right. Read me right, or don't read me at all. I walk down the street and I hear you call, hey princess, light skin, mommy, hold up. And when I don't stop, you spit ugly words aimed like missiles at my heart. Think you're better than me? I'm not better than anybody. And if you read me right, you know that I earned all I've got. My PhD, the books that I wrote, the awards that I won. Nothing was handed to me on a silver platter, so I ignore all the chatter, the rumors and the lies. If you read me right, you'll realize that I'm pulling myself up that ladder, one rung at a time. Maybe I'll see you at the top. Thank you. Okay, who's my addressee? Who am I talking to?
I would say like usually when you walk in the block and those guys that like usually call you for attention.
Those guys that call you at your name. I leave my house and there are these guys that sit on their front stoop. I leave my house at 8 o'clock in the morning, they're sitting there. I come home at 6 o'clock at night, they're still sitting there. Like that's all they do all day is try to talk to women that walk by. And if you don't act nice and talk back the way they want you to, suddenly it's not you're so pretty, it's you, me. So, and they always say, think you're better than me. No, I don't think I'm better than anybody, but I'm doing something with my life. What exactly are you doing with yours? Yes, cat callers, exactly. Because anyone who calls you out your name, that's automatic disrespect. right? Because if you don't know my name, you can say, excuse me, ma'am, excuse me, miss. But all of this other stuff that they say, that's not meant as a compliment. I decide if it's a compliment, not you. Okay, so what you're going to do now is make your 2 lists. How do people see you versus how you see yourself? It might be easier to start with how I see myself, because you are the expert on you. So you're going to make a list of words, how you see yourself, and then a list of words, how other people see you. If you have any questions, you can just raise your hand. And feel free to add whatever job you want to have when you grow up. Right? Jen is like, I'm going to be a psychiatrist. People don't necessarily know that about her. Okay, we're almost out of time. So I'm going to ask for a few volunteers to share their 2 lists and their addressee. And then I think some of you will be able to continue writing, and I'm going to go into the back, and then some of you will come up with your books and get your books signed. So, it looks like there's a hand in the very back. Yeah. Can you read nice and loud for us your list of how people see you versus how you see yourself and your addressee?
How other people see you, rhinos, forehead, sensitive, inside,
And, okay, and how do you see yourself?
talented, fair, very
And beautiful, good, hopeful. You're an optimistic person? That's great. So who's your addressee? Who's that one person who always reads you wrong? Pardon? You can say if it's a friend or a classmate or family member, cousin. All right. All right, I bet a lot of people are writing to family members. Let's see, right here.
how other people see you first.
Okay. Yes, can you stand up actually?
Speak
Are you
louder.
comfortable, or can you read nice and loud?
Yes.
Okay, nice and loud.
They see me early, pretty, some dull, smart, soft, quiet, and not what they want. And how I see myself, tomboy, strong on the inside, silly, proud, rebel, careless, happy, stick, antisocial.
And who's your addressee? My parents. Your parents. Interesting. So if you were going to start your first stanza, you see me where, doing what? What's a situation where your parents are most likely to read you wrong?
They see me like, I don't know how to explain it.
How do they know when you're a tomboy?
Because I dress up like boys.
Okay, you see me getting dressed, I'm wearing X, Y, Z, and you think, why can't she be a girly girl? Right? Something like that? Uh-huh. Good, thank you. Let's see. There.
How other people see me, selfish and spoiled, but how I see myself is caring and insecure.
Caring and insecure. Interesting. Okay, who's your addressee?
I'm gonna go friends.
Old friends. That's interesting. So you kind of outgrew them, and they don't really know who you are today?
Wait, what?
You said old friends. Does that mean you outgrew them, and now you have new friends, and they know you better than the old friends do? Yep, okay. Yep.
How people see me loud, nice, weird, smart, mean. How I see myself, powerful, strong, outspoken, and my addressee as my father.
Oh, I could write a lovely poem to my father. What are you going to say in your first stanza? You see me, what? Where does he see you? What are you doing?
He sees me as beautiful, but when I want to add to my opinion,
Oh, interesting. You see me as daddy's little girl, but when I stand up with my own power,
I need to say
then you're someone else, right? Then he's like, whoa, who are you? Interesting. Yep.
People see me as crybaby, annoying, really pathetic, and how I see myself is I'm beautiful. I'm a great teacher. I'm intelligent. I'm real. I'm honest and strong.
Nice. And you're going to be a teacher? You're already teaching people now. Do you want to be a teacher? All right, good. And who's your addressee? Your classmates. Interesting. So your first stanza is going to say, you see me where? In the hall. You see me at the front of the class, and you think X, Y, Z. All right, I like it. We have time for one more.
Bro, Yasmin.
You see me as someone lazy who never tries and is always lacking any disappointment. I see myself as a beautiful girl trying my best to make you happy and to live up to your dreams.
Wow. Who's your addressee?
My mother.
Your mother. Yeah. Mom's expectations can be really heavy to deal with. So if you were writing your first stanza, what would you say? You see me where? Where does your mom see you when she reads you wrong? What are you doing where she's like,
Someone who's never trying.
okay, you see me relaxing and you think I don't care. But what's happening inside my mind is actually all these dreams and ways you want to help her and impress her. That's great.
Can you go?
All right. Real quick, one more person.
Alright. So how other people see me: funny, bully, but really telling the truth about something. Loud, talk a lot, nice. And then how I see myself: friendly, kind sometimes. If I have something to say, I'll say it, and then outspoken.
All right. And who's your addressee?
Quote unquote friends.
Oh, quote unquote friends. Okay. It's interesting how when you tell the truth, especially if you're pointing out a problem, people call you the problem.
Exactly. Give her some snaps.
So I'm really glad that everybody, especially those of you that shared, seem to know there's a difference between how people see you and how you see yourself. One of the reasons I love talking to young women and encouraging you to make your own books is because everyone has a story to tell. And if you don't tell your story, someone will tell it for you. So it's really important to use your own voice. There's a black woman poet, she used to say, find your voice and use it. Use your voice and find it. The more you express yourself, the more you figure out who you are. Her name is Jane Cortez. She's a poet. You want to check her out. Thank you so much. You guys have been fantastic.